Welcome back to Sustainable Solutions. I'm your host, Lee Fondiller, COO at Solar 4 Pools, Inc. In our previous episodes, we've explored the practical benefits of renewable energy from residential solar panels to innovative pool heating. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the journey before a product ever reaches your home. How does a scientific discovery in a lab become a tangible solution that you can buy and use? What does it take to transform a brilliant idea into a market-ready product that can make a real difference? This is the implementation gap, the challenging, often complex, but incredibly rewarding journey from science to solutions. Today, we're going to explore that journey. Every great innovation begins with a spark. This is the idea generation phase. It's a creative and curious process where we ask, what if and why not? Ideas can come from anywhere, a new scientific paper, customer's casual complaint about an existing product, or a sudden insight into a market need. At this stage, no idea is too wild. The goal is to cast a wide net. But an idea alone isn't enough. The next crucial step is feasibility analysis. This is where we bring the dream down to earth. We have to ask the tough questions. Can we actually build this? Do we have the technology? What will it cost? And most importantly, will anyone buy it? This is where we assess the technical, financial, and market viability of the concept. It's a rigorous process of evaluation that separates the promising ideas from the impractical ones. Think of it like planning a mountain expedition. The idea is to reach the summit. The feasibility study is where you check the weather, map the route, assess your team's skills, and calculate if you have enough supplies for the journey. Many ideas don't make it past this stage, and that's okay. It ensures that the resources are focused on the projects with the highest potential for success. Once an idea has been validated, we enter the heart of the process, research and development, or R&D. This is where the real work of invention happens. It's a cycle of experimentation, prototyping, testing, and refining. We build a prototype, we test it, it fails, we learn why, and we build a better one. This iterative process is fundamental to innovation. This is also where my own background in environmental science from Johns Hopkins University becomes so critical. Having a deep understanding of the scientific principles, whether it's thermodynamics for a solar heater or the chemistry of a new battery, is the foundation upon which we build. It allows us to ask the right questions and to interpret the results of our experiments in a meaningful way. But technical excellence is only half the battle. The other half is navigating the implementation gap. This is the chasm between what works in a controlled lab environment and what works in the real world. A product might be scientifically brilliant, but if it's too expensive to produce, too difficult to install, or too complicated for the average person to use, it will fail in the market. This is where we encounter the major barriers to environmental innovation: high initial costs, complex regulations, and the challenge of changing consumer habits. Overcoming these barriers requires a blend of scientific expertise, engineering ingenuity, and business acumen. No company, no matter how large or innovative, can have all the experts on staff for every single project. This is why collaboration is one of the most powerful accelerators of innovation. Partnering with universities, external researchers, and other companies brings fresh perspectives and specialized expertise to the table. At Solar 4 Pools, Inc., we've seen the power of this firsthand. When we were developing the Sol Aqua 28, we worked with top engineering and design firms to bring our vision to life. This collaboration allowed us to tap into a broader network of talent and resources, which enabled us to solve complex problems faster and more effectively. Successful collaboration is built on clear communication, mutual respect, and a shared vision. It's about creating an environment where different disciplines can come together to create something that is greater than the sum of its parts. It's how we bridge the gap between a scientific concept and a robust, reliable, and user-friendly product. After countless hours of R&D and testing, we finally have a product that works, is safe, and meets all regulatory standards. This is the validation and testing phase. But the journey isn't over. Now we have to bring it to the world. This is the commercialization stage. This involves everything from setting up a manufacturing process that can produce the product at scale to creating a marketing strategy that clearly communicates its value to customers. It requires building a supply chain, training a sales team, and establishing a customer support system. The launch of a product is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a new chapter. We have to listen to customer feedback, monitor performance in the real world, and be prepared to make continuous improvements. The market is always evolving, and a successful product must evolve with it. The journey from a spark of an idea to a product in your hands is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires a dedicated team with a diverse set of skills, a culture of relentless problem solving, and an unwavering focus on the end user. It's how we take the promise of science and turn it into a solution that can truly improve people's lives and contribute to a more sustainable future. The path from science to solutions is filled with challenges, but it's also what drives progress. It's a process that demands both scientific rigor and creative thinking, and it's at the heart of everything we do in the renewable energy industry. Join me next time on Sustainable Solutions as we take a closer look at the role of government policy and incentives in accelerating the adoption of green technology. We'll explore how programs like the federal solar tax credit are shaping the future of energy. Until then, stay curious and keep asking, what if? I'm Fondiller. Thanks for listening.